we arrest the globalist. ProPure is introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. This is the Pro One by ProPure. You wanted it, you got it. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It cuts out the acid derivative of fluoride. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gates, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. This is a revolution against the tyrants. They love putting the toxic acid base of fluoride into your water. They love the fact that it's an adjuvant supercharging the trace Prozac in the water and the hormones and the other chemicals. By cutting out fluoride, you cut out the turbocharger in all the poison being artificially introduced into your body. This is what I use. It's a win-win. You get a high-quality product at the lowest price. You support the InfoWar. Get your ProPure with the new Pro One filter today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139. I am 110% committed, come life, death, hell, or high water, to defense of humanity, not because I'm a hero, but because I have life force. The globalists have not turned off my life force. They've not turned me over to their system of evil. They've not turned me against my own survival instinct. They've not taught me to hate humanity, as ugly as they've tried to make us, as much evil as they've poured into us. I love God and I love justice, and I hate the New World Order. Thank you for joining us. All right, let me finish up with this incredibly important information, then I'll go to your phone calls. And then in the third hour, we're going to cover the reported cop shooter and all that's happening and the push for a civil war in this country with an investigative journalist, Holland Vanden Nieuwenhof, who agrees with my analysis and has a lot of cogent points to add. You've heard him co-host the transmission before. Now, before we go any further here, let me just recap that the ultra-rich are monopoly men, and they are, out of the 7.5 billion people, they are 0.000000133333333%. And they've signed us on to their 1.5 quadrillion. That's actually a 3-year-old number. It's closer to 2 quadrillion or 2,000 trillion. And that's got 24 zeros. A quadrillion does 24 zeros on it. So we're talking about quite a bit of money, which is hundreds of times more than all the real assets in the world as they're currently valued. But the globalists have signed us on to too big to fail, and then they take $25 billion a month and pump it directly into that, not to prop it up. They've already written that off, to destroy wealth, raising payroll taxes on people making $22,000 a year. I apologize. It's in CNBC today. I thought it was $30,000 and up. You got a payroll increase. I'm sorry. $22,000 a year. That is poverty by any mark in most areas of the country. I guess there's a few areas where stuff's so cheap you could live like that. And you count the property taxes and the rest of it. I mean, this is total enslavement and so cold-blooded. But that's because we have the most cold-blooded elite ever who sees cold-bloodedness as a virtue. Now, let's go over some of the articles here for people watching on TV. Radio listeners, these are all up at Infowars.com. China eclipses U.S. as biggest trading nation. I'm just going to read these headlines and then go back into them. China eclipses U.S. as biggest trading nation measured in goods, not in fake fiat GDP. Fed's holdings of Fed's, again, Fed's a lie. Federal Reserve's not Fed. Fed's holdings of U.S. government debt hit record 1.696691 trillion, up 257% under Obama. People are like, wow, they're going to bankrupt us. They don't seem to care. We're going over a cliff. They've run it over the cliff in Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, Nigeria, South Africa, England, Germany. They've done this everywhere over and over again. It's the OECD. It's the New World Order. It's their plan. And we have an article by Paul Watson and I up at Infowars.com. Why the banking elite want riots in America, Civil War II, the economic imperative for mass social unrest. Their own admissions of how they've engineered it. It's red-linked. Go get it. People are like, well, it's depressing. What's the point? Knowing this is coffin nails to the enemy. If you won't get up and fight back when their whole program's public, then we have no hope. Now, let's continue with these headlines. China eclipses U.S.'s biggest trading nation measured in GDP. Private Federal Reserve holds 1.696 plus trillion. 16, it just goes on and on. The Chinese buying, I don't know, was they got like 2 trillion or something? The Fed's bailout of Europe continues with record $237 billion injected into foreign banks in past month. Zero hedge from the Wall Street Journal. Did you hear that? $237 billion into foreign banks in just the last month, on top of $85 billion a month injected into the private Federal Reserve banks that are also the European banks. So add that in. And again, it's all just fiat. They're just injecting it to get you into debt because it's not real. Only the debt on you is real, enforced by all the officers wearing Darth Vader outfits. You notice there's checkpoints in Darth Vader outfits and you're going to stick their hands down your pants. It's all about, line up, slaves. It's all about you're occupied now. It's all about, you understand that? They're going to bring you down, just like they're doing in Latin America every 10 years. They did it in 2000. They're doing it again right now. They did it in 2001, 2002. They're devaluing their currencies again. They're doing it. They do it to destroy wealth. Only the globalists who are prepositioned come out on top. It goes on. This is it. China surpasses U.S. #1 global trading partner. Okay, so that's some of the economic news. 40 ways that China is beating America. Key article by Michael Snyder of American Dream up at Infowars.com. I want to cover some of that. How Obama is wielding executive power in second term. Again, the office is becoming a dictatorship, not the puppet who sits in it. The bureaucracy through it is becoming a dictatorship. The UN over the military, the executive orders where Congress can't see what the president's doing. That is a dictatorial action. How Obama is wielding executive power in second term. AP whitewashing that it's okay, saying he could use executive power to take the guns. Remember that? Obama to propose spending to boost jobs in State of the Union. More spending, more debt, not to actually get the economy going, which is bad enough because it causes inflation, but to give it only to select interest. Continuing, speech lays out next goals of saving the middle class. Venezuela sharply devaluates currency. Again, this is how they do it over and over again. Could Venezuela's mass panic buy soon becoming